Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today. My name is Mel Rose, and I'm here to share your daily aspects. Today, I just want to say that, Mars is really active on the page right now. Yes, Mercury is going retrograde. Yes, the moon is going to be full in Pisces. We're going to discuss all of that. But Mars's activity right now really brings in a lot of that fiery, it can seem impulsive attitude, this desire just to get moving or to keep moving, to not be held back by things. Mars is sort of a sign of conquest, a desire to just achieve the goal by whatever means necessary, right? So it can come across as impatient or restless, but and it can come across as really competitive at times. But another great thing about Mars is that it isn't just competitive, it's really cooperative. A Mars-like person, an Aries, a Leo, a Sagittarius, anybody who's got a lot of sort of fire influence in their chart is a good person to not be competing with, but to have on your team. So if you recognize somebody around you, the sort of struggle that you sort of struggle with a little bit, but it's because they have this sort of fire and determination and this drive to let's just get this stuff done, right? You might want to think about befriending that person and getting them sort of on your side, because the initiative that comes with all of this Mars activity that's going on the page is really going to help us, make the progress we're looking for. Okay, let's get into these aspects. Today is Friday, September 9, 2022. The sun is in Virgo, and the waxing gibbous nearly full moon is in Pisces. So while we attend the practical tasks of our daily lives, tying up the completion of some goals we set for this full moon, we may find we've slowed down a little on the home side. Moon in Pisces is a very emotional and creative vibe, and tomorrow's full moon is going to call on us to dream up something beautiful and celebrate it with love and connection. This is also a point where we look back. Pisces is the last zodiac sign, and so it is an indicator that a cycle has come to an end. The last full moon in Aries, the beginner of cycles, was October 20th of last year. So give yourself some time to appreciate the personal growth you've undergone since then. Venus is also now in Virgo. So when we relate with others, it is for a purpose. We show appreciation by offering service or support, and we want to be practical with our finances, doing the most good we can with what we have. Mutable earth and mutable water, friends. Our inner vision may be a little murky at this time. Our emotions are very tied up in how secure and supported we feel right now. So let's take a look at what the moon is doing today. This has to do with our personal lives, how it feels to be us, and who we are at home. And here's the moon today on the page. At 8:39 this morning, moon goes opposite Venus, and that's Central Standard Time, friends. Taurus, Cancer, and Virgo. Think of this, and let's find it here on the page. Moon opposite to Venus here. They're looking right across the wheel at each other. So think of this as though we are standing right here in the center, between the moon and Venus. This is our real position. The moon is to our east, Venus is to our west, and we are right in the middle. The moon asks Venus, how do we feel right now? And Venus in Virgo says, I'd rather show you, but I can tell you while I do it. We feel happy with the willingness to share, but if our receptive hearts are given any reason to resist, we may find some conflict. Moon goes square to Mars this evening at 6:08. Aries, Cancer, and Scorpio, and Moon square Mars is right there. So we can come across as pushy and impatient when we feel assertive and challenges arise. Let's not put our desires ahead of our needs or ahead of the peace in our hearts and homes. And there are a couple of current events to discuss on the sun side of the page, which has to do with who we are and how we show up out there in the world, in our work, social, and civic lives. At 5:06 p.m., Venus culminates a quincunx with Jupiter, and that's right there. Taurus, Libra, Sagittarius, and Pisces. This comes across right now as a heads up about going overboard in our spending or about becoming too self-indulgent. Temptations will arise, and we do like those rich foods and nice things, but now is not a time to spend money or time on things that are not pre-planned or in the budget. Then at 10:38 tonight, Mercury officially goes retrograde. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo, and Mercury is the planet that governs our day-to-day operations. The ways that we think, plan, and communicate in the moment are coming up for reassessment. We may notice that the equipment we use to communicate or even travel around, our bicycles and cars, our phones and laptops, we may notice it more when those things either act up or don't work to get us where we're going. And we may notice that our best intentions, when it comes to saying clearly what we mean, fall flat and require more explanation about what our intentions are. We may notice that we didn't quite get it right because we didn't listen very well. Listening is half of real communication, and this is the one that really seems to be my primary challenge. Practice listening in a way that gives your whole attention to what the other person is saying. Divided attention is the devil while Mercury is in retrograde. Overall, this 3-week period comes up 3 times a year, and it seems to me that it does so to help us sort of check ourselves. We can fall so much into habitual ways of being on a daily basis that we don't really stop to consider whether what we are doing is working. It's a slow down and follow through vibe. Give the little things your generous attention. Don't be in a hurry. This is what change feels like. In terms of astrological things that are ongoing, we continue to witness the grand trine between the Sun, Uranus, and Pluto here. There's that great, big, beautiful equilateral triangle that covers the middle of the wheel. Neptune aspects all 3 of those planets right here, turning that trine into more of a kite shape, right? Literally supplying the lift that these sacred opportunities may require to make a positive difference for us. Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, Pisces, this very much includes you all. This is about our conscious sense of purpose, okay? And our innermost knowing and guidance, and our ability to weather surprises. Taking flight when we can sort of relax and let go and allow our imagination to take the wheel. What exciting things might we dream up or discover when we indulge in fantasy while the moon is culminating? I see a good deal of inspiration coming in. We also have a T-square here, and we've already talked about this a little with the moon side today, but let's pull it together. This opposition between Venus and the moon is being squared by Mars in both directions. This indicates a space where tension builds and from which action arises. Aries, Taurus, Cancer, Libra, Scorpio. Mars in Gemini is here to say, you can share how you feel, but we may be feeling a little impatient. Venus wants to share in a productive way with the moon, and an impatient approach may cause us to hesitate and or miss that opportunity to connect. So just remember the slow down and follow through that's coming in with this Mercury retrograde, right? And say, okay, I do want to share. I do want to open up about how I'm feeling. And I'm probably going to let you know the things that I'm impatient about, but I'm going to do my best not to say it in an impatient or selfish or self-indulgent sort of way. Mercury here is opposite to Jupiter. And then Mars is sextile to Jupiter and trine to Mercury. Aries, Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces, Scorpio, Sagittarius. Mercury has been resistant to Jupiter's expansion vibe the last few days. There's a stubbornness here, or a tenacity where we want to hold on to habits and ways of being that are actively getting in the way of our ability to grow and express our full potential. Mars, who was the impatient character in this Venus and Moon opposition, here Mars is the cooperative character that lends boldness and a direct approach to growth through taking actions around our thoughts and words. Appropriate, I think, that Mercury just went retrograde, and here's Mars and Jupiter showing us where we need to look at our mental and verbal habits and a little bit about what to do with them. Notice what gets in the way and find a way to correct or release it. And that's pretty much the name of the game here in the thick of retrograde season. Many facets of our lives have come up for personal review. How do I personally respond to the surprises that Uranus brings into my life? How do I personally find support by taking responsibility the way Saturn asks me to do, etc., etc.? With most of our planets now retrograde, it's a good time to be kind to yourself as you navigate these waters. Don't walk into situations you don't feel prepared to participate in. Do take your time and pay close attention to the details as they come up. And coming up tomorrow, the full moon in Pisces graces us with a connected, and creative opportunity to celebrate all the parts of ourselves that have brought us to this point in our lives. And then on Sunday, we will discuss further in depth the Sun's trine to Uranus, which we've been talking about quite a bit this week, actually. And then on Monday, Sun's quincunx to Saturn comes in to remind us that we have to be able to rely on ourselves. And that's it for today's astrology, friends. Thanks for tuning in. Please like my video, subscribe to the channel, click the notifications bell. I post here every day, and I wouldn't want you to miss a thing. For a longer, less formal version of this reading that includes further insight from Tarot, please check out my other channel, Astrology Today and Tarot with Mel Rose. The link is in the description. I appreciate you all so much for tuning in. My love and gratitude go out to each and every one of you. And I will see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today.